Good evening. I'm Pythagoras, here to read another fairy tale. Last night's tale had some violence that had to be edited out on the fly. Astute observers may have noticed this. However, I'm sure tonight's tale will have no such issues. The Tale of the Wolf and the Seven Kids. Now a goat had 7 young kids, whom she loved very much and carefully protected from the wolf. One day when she had to go and fetch some food, she called them all together and said, "Dear children, I must go out to find some food, so be on your guard against the wolf, and don't let him inside. Pay close attention, because he often disguises himself, but you can recognize him right away by his gruff voice and his black paws. Protect yourselves. If he gets into the house, he'll eat you all up." Upon saying this, the goat went on her way, but it was not long before the wolf arrived at the door and called out,
"Open up, dear children. I'm your mother, and I've brought you some beautiful things."
But the 7 kids said, "You're not our mother. She has a lovely, soft voice, and yours is gruff. You're the wolf, and we're not going to open the door." So the wolf went away to a shopkeeper and bought a big piece of chalk, which he ate. I could use some of that. And it made his voice soft. Then he returned to the house door of the 7 kids and called out with a soft voice, "Dear children, let me in. I'm your mother, and I've brought something for each of you." But the wolf had put his paw on the windowsill, and when the children saw it, they said, "You're not our mother. She doesn't have a black paw like yours. You're the wolf. We're not going to open the door for you." So the wolf ran to a baker and said,
"Baker, put some dough on my paws for me."
And after that was done, the wolf went to the miller and said,
"Sprinkle some white flour on my paws."
The miller said no.
"If you don't do it, I'll eat you up."
The miller said yes. Now the wolf went once again to the house door of the 7 kids and said, "Dear children, let me in. I'm your mother, and I've brought something for each of you." The 7 kids wanted to see the paws first. And when they saw that they were snow white and heard the wolf speak so softly, they thought he was their mother. And they opened the door. Once the wolf entered, however, they recognized him and quickly hid themselves as best they could. The first kid slid under the table, the second hid in the bed, the third in the oven, the fourth in the kitchen, the fifth in the cupboard, the sixth under the large wash basin, and the 7th in the clock case. However, the wolf found them all and swallowed them except for the youngest, in the clock case, who remained alive. When the wolf had satisfied his craving, he went off. Shortly thereafter, the mother goat came home, and oh, what a terrible sight. The wolf had been there and had devoured her dear children. She thought they were all dead, but the youngest jumped out of the clock case and told her how everything had happened. In the meantime, the wolf, who was stuffed, had gone to a green meadow, where he had lain himself down in the sun and had fallen into a deep sleep. The old goat thought she might still be able to save her children. Therefore, she said to the youngest kid, "Take the scissors, needle, and thread, and follow me." After she left the house, she found the wolf lying on the ground in the meadow and snoring. "There's that nasty wolf," she said, and inspected him from all sides. "There he is, after eating my 6 children for supper. Give me the scissors. Oh, if only they're still alive inside of him." Then she cut his belly open, and the 6 kids that had been swallowed whole by the gluttonous wolf jumped out and were unscathed. Immediately she ordered them to gather large and heavy stones and to bring them to her. Then she filled his stomach with them, and the kids sewed him up again and hid behind a hedge. When the wolf had finished sleeping, he felt that his stomach was very heavy. And he said,
"It's rumbling and tumbling in my belly. It's rumbling and tumbling in my belly. And I've only eaten 6 kids."
He thought he'd better have a drink of fresh water to help him. And he looked for a well, but when he leaned over, he couldn't stand straight because of the stones, and he fell into the water. When the 7 kids saw this, they came running and danced joyfully around the well. The end. They're not quite so much stories as they are things that happen to horrible things that happen to animals with poorly defined anatomy. Good night. Pythagoras returns tomorrow. Peace.